Namaste. Here I am back with my fourth video on the chapter globalization. Dear children, I hope you have watched my all the videos of this chapter. We have discussed what is globalization, what are MNCs, how MNCs are setting up and controlling business in different countries, then what are the factors that enabled globalization. These all big topics we have already done in my previous videos. Today we will take the impact of globalization, what are SEZs, and the struggle for fair globalization. So let's begin. What is the impact of globalization on the Indian economy? Dear students, globalization is now a reality. We have to move along with the process of globalization. इससे हम पीछे नहीं हट सकते हैं, हमको इसके साथ ही बढ़ना है. तो what is its impact? So let's discuss our first question for today. What is the impact of globalization on the Indian economy? A direct question. The impact of globalization is not uniform. Explain. Or what is the impact of globalization on our daily lives? In any way, question can be asked. Okay. Impact of globalization is not uniform at all. It has different impact on different group of people. So let's divide this answer into two: positive impact and negative impact. So first we will take positive impact on consumers, particularly well-off consumers. Consumers have a wide range of choice of goods before them. There are variety of goods in the market. Gone the days जब हमारे पास एक या दो प्रोडक्ट मार्केट में होता था. शूज खरीदने बाटा में गए, वापस आ गए. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कोई सामान खरीदना है तो केवल होता था अपट्रॉन है, वेस्टर्न है, या कुछ प्रेस्टीज है, ऐसे 3-4 नाम होते थे. आज हमारे पास वैरायटी ऑफ गुड्स आर अवेलेबल इन द मार्केट. सो the consumers are, particularly well-off consumers, they are benefited as they have great choice before them and they enjoy improved quality of goods at lower price. Quality wise also the goods are much better and most importantly lower price. कम कीमत में हमें सामान मिल रहा है. Now we can choose any product of our choice which suits our pocket and which suits our needs. They enjoy higher standards of living than earlier. आज हमारे पास वो सब चीजें हैं जो शायद पहले नहीं थी, हमारे रीच में नहीं थी. आज हम better, higher standards of living enjoy कर रहे हैं because of this globalization. New jobs are created, especially in the IT sector. Employment is generated in IT sector. हमने पढ़ा था कि English speaking youth of India, they are working in different call centers. The magazine which was prepared for London readers, how it was made with the help of ICT, is an example that a large number of people are employed in IT sector. So after consumers, the second group of people who were benefited are producers, large producers. Large producers, the Indian companies have been benefited. The top Indian companies, the large producers particularly, they are benefited. Why? It is because they were rich. They had money, they have money, and they can buy latest technology. With latest technology, they can produce goods also of latest type at very less cost. So the rich producers, those who have money, they can buy latest technology and they can compete in the international market with other producers of other countries. They themselves emerged as MNCs. वो खुद MNCs बन गए हैं आज. Local companies सप्लाइंग रॉ मटेरियल, दे ऑल्सो प्रॉस्पर्ड। छोटी छोटी कंपनीज थी जो सप्लाई कर रही थी एमएनसीज को मटेरियल, दे ऑल्सो प्रॉस्पर्ड। सो दिस इज फॉर पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट ऑफ ग्लोबलाइजेशन। लेट्स मूव टू नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट ऑफ ग्लोबलाइजेशन। स्मॉल प्रोड्यूसर्स, जिनके पास न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी के लिए पैसा नहीं था, they were unable to compete in the international market. Example वही वाला, let's go back to the example of Chinese toys. Chinese toys जब इंडिया में आए तो Indian toy makers were not able to compete with them because their toys were light in weight, good in design, then they were made of plastic, and most importantly they were cheaper than Indian toys. So Indian toy makers, small producers, they were not able to compete. They have to shut down. So small producers, due to lack of technology, they are unable to compete with these big producers in the market. Several small industries have to shut down. बहुत सारी छोटी छोटी इंडस्ट्रीज थी जिन्हें बंद होना पड़ा, शट डाउन होना पड़ा। यहाँ पर एक हम एग्जाम्पल पढ़ेंगे जो हमारी एनसीईआरटी बुक्स में है, राइजिंग कंपटीशन। रवि वॉज अ स्मॉल प्रोड्यूसर। एक स्मॉल प्रोड्यूसर है, वो कैपेसिटर बनाता था जो एक इलेक्ट्रॉनिक गैजेट्स में, फैंस, टीवी वगैरह में लगता है। कैपेसिटर बनाता था और उसका एक अच्छा सा बिजनेस था। ही हैड 20 वर्कर्स वर्किंग अंडर हिम, बट his time changed when these capacitors were imported from other countries, which were of good quality and at cheaper rate they were available in the Indian market. अब जितनी भी उसके clients थे वो सब अब मार्केट से डायरेक्ट imported capacitors खरीदने लगे। धीरे धीरे करके उसके वर्कर्स कम हुए और ultimately he has to shut down because he was not able to compete with these products which were in the market, which were of good technology and at cheaper price they were available in the market. So like this, many small producers, small manufacturers, they have to shut down. On the workers, no job security. Their jobs is no longer secure now. They became jobless also. Many of them became jobless when these small producers, they shut down. So the many people working in these small industries, they have to also perish. They also became jobless because you should know that after agriculture, small producers are the largest employment giving sector in India. Small manufacturers. So when many of these small companies shut down, many of the workers became jobless, and those who had job, their job was also no longer secure. There was no job security. Whenever there was demand of laborers, only for those particular months they were hired on temporary basis. Long working hours. Their working hours were too long. दो वर्कर्स का काम एक वर्कर से काम करा रहे थे. So they had long working hours. There was no extra wages for them. There was no paid holidays for them. So these people, the workers and the small producers especially, they had a very negative impact of globalization. Okay beta, the next topic is SEZs, Special Economic Zones. What are special economic zones? These special economic zones are created by state government and central government to attract foreign investment. Special economic zones बनाई जाती हैं किसी भी सिटी के एक एरिया में. In this area, all world-class facilities are provided. Beautiful wide roads, 24-hour supply of water and electricity, recreational and educational institutions in that area, storage facilities, all facilities are of world class. वर्ल्ड क्लास का मतलब समझते हैं, जो कि दूसरे किसी डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज में जैसी रोड्स होती हैं, जैसे प्रॉपर उनका एक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सेटअप होता है, सिटी का एक एरिया इस तरह से डेवलप किया जाता है और उस एरिया को दिखाया जाता है MNCs को, दैट वी आर गिविंग यू सच अ ब्यूटिफुल वर्ल्ड क्लास फैसिलिटीज एरिया। वो उसको देखते, हाँ भाई यहाँ पर स्कूल भी है, रिक्रिएशन भी है, बाकी बेनिफिट्स भी हैं। तो टू अट्रैक्ट फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट दीज SEZs आर क्रिएटेड बाय स्टेट गवर्नमेंट एंड सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट। Besides giving these all world-class facilities, relaxation in taxes is also given for initial 5 years. उनको कहते हैं 5 साल तक आप कोई टैक्स भी मत दो, ये भी एक तरीका है उन्हें अट्रैक्ट करने का। नंबर 3, मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट, फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी इन लेबर लॉज। फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी इन लेबर लॉज क्या होता है? पहले तो लेबर लॉज क्या होते हैं हमने चैप्टर 2 में सेक्टर्स ऑफ इंडियन इकोनॉमी चैप्टर में पढ़ा था, that there are some laws, labor laws, which are there to protect laborers, minimum wages act, provident fund act, gratuity act, ये सब जिससे कि जो लेबर है, जो अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर में है, उनको प्रोटेक्ट किया जाए। हाउ टू प्रोटेक्ट वर्कर्स इन अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर। लेकिन यहाँ तो SEZs में हमारी गवर्नमेंट ने खुद उनको बोला that you can play with our labor laws, आप इसको फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी से यूज कर सकते हो। और क्या चाहिए किसको? MNCs को। MNCs को तो ये ट्रम्प कार्ड है। MNCs ने बोला वाह मजे आ गए, नाउ देयर इज नो जॉब सिक्योरिटी फॉर द वर्कर्स, they are only calling them when there is more work pressure, no regular jobs for the workers, no extra benefits, because they have been told by the government that you can use labor laws flexibly. अब इतना सब देने के बाद MNCs के जो मालिक होते हैं, ओके, now we are ready to invest money in your country, and they are demanding more flexibility in labor laws. इतना देने के बाद भी MNCs अब भी हमारी गवर्नमेंट को प्रेशराइज कर रही है कि दैट दे वांट मोर फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी इन लेबर लॉज। सो दीज आर SEZs, what are SEZs and why they are created. Okay, I hope you can answer this question now very nicely. So beta, our last topic for today is the struggle for a fair globalization. Last topic of the chapter. Just think of my previous video that we have left there one question. Is it a free and fair globalization? यहाँ पर हमने रोका था और कंक्लूड किया था अपने वीडियो को। इसका एग्जाम्पल लिया था US का, that US is still it's a developed country. It is still supporting its farmers. It is giving immense support to its farmers. Massive sum of money is given as a support to its farmers, and then they are asking the government of developing countries not to support their farmers, not to support their small producers. So this is not fair globalization. So let's discuss what is fair globalization. Fair globalization would create opportunities for all. Everyone means the developing countries or developed countries should get opportunities to develop, to grow. Number 2, benefits should be shared better. Benefits of globalization, the government must ensure that the benefits are shared better. The benefits of globalization, जो अभी हमने benefits और impact of globalization में पढ़ा था, that some are benefited, some are not. So ठीक है, किसी को, लेकिन होना क्या चाहिए, किसी को कम बेनिफिट मिले, किसी को ज्यादा बेनिफिट मिले, लेकिन बेनिफिट शुड बी शेयर्ड बाय ऑल। ठीक है, तो दिस इज फेयर ग्लोबलाइजेशन। फॉर फेयर ग्लोबलाइजेशन यू हैव टू राइट दीज 2 sentences. Now, what is the role of the government in this struggle for fair globalization? गवर्नमेंट क्या कर सकती है फॉर मेकिंग द ग्लोबलाइजेशन फेयर ग्लोबलाइजेशन? Government can play a major role in this struggle for fair globalization. Its policies must protect all the people in the country, not only rich and powerful. All the people in the country should be protected by the government. Its policies must protect all the people in the country, not only rich and powerful. So the government can take following steps to ensure that labor laws are properly implemented and the workers get their rights. लेबर लॉज जो अभी हमने SEZs में पढ़ा था, जिसमें कि हमारी गवर्नमेंट अलाउ करती है टू यूज लेबर लॉज फ्लेक्सिबली, ये नहीं करना चाहिए, क्योंकि जैसे ही हम ये कहते हैं लेबर लॉज टू बी यूज फ्लेक्सिबली, वो लेबर के साथ अच्छा व्यवहार नहीं करते हैं. वर्कर्स आर हायर्ड ओनली एट द प्रेशर टाइम. देयर जॉब हैज बिकम इनसिक्योर. तो गवर्नमेंट को क्या करना चाहिए? ठीक है, फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट अट्रैक्ट करना है, लेकिन वर्कर्स की कॉस्ट में नहीं. तो लेबर लॉज टू बी प्रॉपरली इम्प्लीमेंटेड एंड वर्कर्स मस्ट गेट देयर राइट्स. नंबर 2, टू सपोर्ट स्मॉल प्रोड्यूसर्स till they become strong enough to compete in the international market. जब यूएस अपने फार्मर्स को अभी तक सपोर्ट कर रहा है, तो हम लोग क्यों नहीं अपने स्मॉल प्रोड्यूसर्स को, स्मॉल फार्मर्स को प्रोटेक्ट करें till the time they become strong enough to struggle in the international market. Government can use trade and investment barriers if required. अगर हमको लगता है कि जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल चाइनीज टॉयज इंडिया में आए और इंडियन टॉयज मेकर्स दे फेस्ड लॉसेस, वो सब पेरिश हो गए. तो अगर गवर्नमेंट को लगता है कि सपोर्ट की ज़रूरत है, तो वहाँ पर ट्रेड बैरियर यूज़ कर ले. ट्रेड बैरियर क्या क्या होते हैं? ट्रेड बैरियर फिक्सेशन ऑफ कोटास एंड टैक्स ऑन इम्पोर्ट्स, ये 2 ट्रेड बैरियर्स है. तो इन दोनों ट्रेड बैरियर्स को यूज़ करें ऊपर नीचे टू रेगुलेट द ट्रेड. अगर हमको लगता है नाउ इंडियन प्रोड्यूसर्स आर क्वाइट स्ट्रॉन्ग इनफ, दे आर एबल टू कम्पीट, दे हैव लेटेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी, ठीक है, ट्रेड बैरियर्स हटा दीजिए. अगर हमको लगता है कि इंडियन manufacturers, Indian producers are not able to compete with these foreign goods, we means the government can use trade and investment barriers. और कुछ समय के बाद जब उन्हें लगता है कि now the Indian producers are quite strong enough, they can remove these trade and investment barriers. So इस तरीके से उन्हें रेगुलेट करने के लिए, ट्रेड को रेगुलेट करने के लिए कभी कभी ट्रेड और इन्वेस्टमेंट बैरियर्स यूज करने चाहिए. गवर्नमेंट कैन नेगोशिएट एट WTO फॉर फेयर रूल्स. गवर्नमेंट कैन आस्क एट द WTO that why these countries are not following the norms of WTO. So इस तरह से गवर्नमेंट कैन keep its views in WTO. Government can align with the developing countries with similar interests and fight against the domination of developed countries in the WTO. हम अपने जैसे सिमिलर इंटरेस्ट के देशों के साथ एक अलाइनमेंट करें. जैसे हमारा एक अलाइनमेंट है सार्क कंट्रीज, SAARC, साउथ एशियन एसोसिएशन ऑफ रीजनल कंट्रीज. हम एक एसोसिएशन बनाएं एंड जब हम एसोसिएशन बनाकर अपनी बात सभी कंट्रीज मिलकर WTO के सामने रखेंगे कि why there is domination of developed countries in the WTO, they will listen to us. So these are the 5 points you have to learn by heart for the role of government. What role the government can take? This is very important question, beta. Okay, what is fair globalization and what are the steps taken by the government for fair globalization? So with this topic, we will conclude our video here, hoping that the future will belong to fair globalization. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.